5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, April 1st, 2022. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Troy University students elected a new slate of officers for Troy University Student Government Association on Wednesday. The new student government president will be Ava Carnazza. Dalton Cates will be the new executive vice president. Vice president of campus affairs will be Kendall Cedrin. Jane Vickers was elected as the new vice president of internal affairs, and Theo Theonis will serve as the new SGA executive secretary. SGA president-elect Ava Carnazza says she's ready to serve in her newly elected role.
It's such an honor to be alongside these candidates as they ran such a great campaign. I've worked with them in SJ for the past 3 years, and they're great people, and for the student body to elect me as the next Troy University's SJ president is a great honor, and I'm very excited to represent and serve the student body.
The new officers will be sworn in later this semester and will serve for the 2022-2023 school year starting in the fall. Well, before students cast their vote on Wednesday, they had the chance to learn about the candidates running in the election at a town hall event in the Claudia Crosby Theater. Alex Albritton has the story.
With SGA elections coming to an end, the candidates hit the stage for a student body mock town trial debate. Current Vice President of Internal Affairs Kanisha Mahan and current SGA President Maxwell George hosted the event and asked the SGA exec candidates questions that related to the position that they were running for. Besides asking those questions, they also were able to give 1-minute speeches about themselves to give the student body a better idea of who they would be picking to be in office.
Gives kind of a backing to what you're running for. It allows the students of the Troy University to know what you're actually running for, that you're not just doing this for a title, you're not doing this for a name. It makes you put substance to what you're talking about. It makes you put substance to your name, substance to why they should vote for you at the end of the day.
The annual debate is usually held in the on-campus news station TrojanVision, and an in-person audience was not allowed. With it being in person this year and held in Claudia Crosby, students got a chance to get a closer look on who they might be voting for.
I chose to attend tonight's SGA debate because I feel like it's a good opportunity for students to get everybody's point of view on certain points that they would not normally get.
Although the debate was different this year, all SGA exec members encouraged students to exercise their right to vote and hope to make a difference on campus.
But when it comes to your school, I think it shows your sense of Trojan pride. If you care about your school, and besides going online and saying things, why this, you can elect the people that are going to make the change. And if you don't do that, you're being part of the problem, where you could be a help with the problem and elect these people that are campaigning since last week, trying to make these changes, trying to show you that why they're important for the position. And I think that's most important, that you exercise that vote, that you use those votes accordingly, or that those votes for every position accordingly and appropriately, to be able to exercise what you think is your best view and image of what Troy University should be.
It's Women's History Month, and every March, Troy University Student Government Association recognizes select female students with the Outstanding Women Awards. Caroline Gerhardt has more.
On Thursday evening, Troy SGA honored the recipients of the Most Outstanding Women's Award and Mr. and Miss Trojan Pride Award for 2022.
So we did Most Outstanding Women and Trojan Pride this evening. Trojan Pride basically is students that exemplify what Troy University really is and what we represent as a whole. So very much so giving them the credit and honor that they deserve, because those are amazing students. And then Most Outstanding Woman, this is Women's History Month, so we like to celebrate the amazing Trojan women that we have in the family here. They do an exemplary job of being great individuals and being great students. And also it's hard being a woman in today's society, so we give them credit for pushing through, beating adversity, and just being the best version of themselves they can be.
The honorees enjoyed a celebratory dinner event with their families and friends to acknowledge their accomplishment and receive plaques and even swords in recognition of their award. The honorees of the evening were nominated for the award by their peers, faculty, and staff based on their character and leadership during their time here at Troy.
So when it comes to my leadership here at Troy, I currently serve as the president of the University Activities Council, as well as the vice president of internal affairs for the Student Government Association, and that I'm also involved in my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, as well as the National Panhellenic Council.
The Most Outstanding Women's Award is given in recognition of female leaders at Troy, but it is also a testament to the women who came before them.
It was truly it was humbling, but it was also just a remembrance of the women that came before me to allow this opportunity to be available. There's a lot of hardworking women that have served and will serve that allow for women to have opportunities to be recognized like this.
Caroline Gerhart, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll see how Troy University students got a taste of what it's like to live in poverty. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories, unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
For many college students, they don't know what it's like to live in poverty. Wednesday afternoon, Troy's Office of Civic Engagement gave students a chance to learn what it's like to have to struggle with poverty. Mackenzie Foster has the story.
Troy University's Office of Civic Engagement held a poverty simulation for students to realistically experience the lives of people with financial deficiencies. The main focus was to allow for students of all backgrounds to get a realistic idea of what really goes on in the life of struggling people.
I think that for each of us, this may be an experience that closely affects some of us. Some of us have lived this experience. Some of us, this is kind of a foreign experience. So it is very important for students, no matter what career they're going into, to be informed about poverty, the effects on individuals, and the effects on our community.
There were several stations set up in order to give the impression of things people have to go through in their everyday lives. There is a bank, a healthcare center, a social services office, and even a place of employment and a school. The stations were to represent the obstacles that a person must go through in order to make it to the next day.
I hope that students take away from this event a different level of understanding and empathy. A lot of times individuals with low incomes are stereotyped in particular ways, and so I hope this is insightful for students and educates them on the challenges and the barriers, the gaps in opportunity that exist for people in poverty and people of low income.
The simulation ended with a discussion for students to reflect on how they felt about the experience. Mackenzie Foster, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Last Thursday, 2 student groups came together in an effort to empower women on campus. Savannah Sapp has more on the Women's Summit.
Women empowering women. Those are the words best used to describe the Women's Summit that happened on Thursday night. Female speakers from varying backgrounds shared their encouraging words to their audience. The annual Women's Summit put on by Troy's Miss Elite Society and the Sparkle Mentoring Club encourages women to be true to themselves. This year's theme was Gracefully Broken, a reminder to all women that life's tribulations keep us grounded in who we are.
Gracefully Broken basically means being okay with being not strong all the time. It basically means it's okay to be your true self and to be able to heal from those things that hurt you in the past.
After enjoying a heartfelt gospel tune, attendees had the opportunity to listen to inspiring and emotional stories from Troy students and alumni. These women gave their own definition of what gracefully broken means and offered their advice on how to embrace it.
Just understanding that trials and tribulations come and just having that faith that God will carry us through is the main moral story behind being gracefully broken. Trusting the process and trying to find hope when we're hopeless, or having faith that that second wind will come through when we're tired. I feel the kind of impact that it will have, it will give people a sense of hope that nothing lasts forever, good or bad, and just understanding that those moments where we're at our lowest are meant to elevate and push us.
In sharing these experiences, the two organizations hope to uplift women in their times of transformation and growth. The message behind this summit is rooted in positivity and personal healing. All participating speakers promoted this while adding their own personal flair.
I want women to basically understand that you don't always have to be the strong friend. You don't always have to be there for everybody else. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no, I need some time. I need some time to myself. I need some time to be left alone to deal with the things that I'm going through. Use your voice, be open, be loud. They say women are supposed to be seen and not heard, but in this new generation and this time today, we have to be heard.
Information about upcoming events can be found on social media like Instagram and Facebook. Savannah Sapp, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Last Saturday, prospective students got a taste of what could become their future collegiate home at the annual Spring Trojan Day. Ava Jackson gives us a look at what future Trojans experienced on their visit to campus.
Potential new students from all over the Southeast had the opportunity to tour campus and see different on-campus organizations on Saturday during the annual Spring Trojan Day.
So we really just want them to be able, student-wise and families, to picture themselves here at Troy, see how they can get involved, all the experiences that they can take a part of while they're here, whether that's study abroad or a Greek organization, really just find themselves at Troy. That's our goal here, and honestly just to allow them to preview campus and what it's like to be a Trojan.
The potential students not only learned about academics and scholarships in Trojan Arena, but were able to walk around the quad and meet students and what it means to be a part of the Trojan family.
Troy University is just all about the community, and I think it's great for the students to get exposed to the community here, especially during the organizational browse session like we have. Getting to see the community and the strong sense of family that we have here at Troy is very important for these students.
Not only can incoming freshmen learn about the new organizations here at Troy on the quad, they can also take pictures with everyone's favorite Trojan, T-Roy.
Oh man, my favorite part is probably putting faces with names and seeing students so excited. They really get to see what it's like to be a Trojan and really envision themselves on campus, as well as seeing our current students interact and just being able to broadcast and showcase the campus that they've been involved in.
New student Maya Wallace says coming to Spring Trojan Day gave her a feel of what Troy University values and got a look into what her major has to offer.
The reason I decided to come to Spring Trojan Day today was to really get a feel of what the school values and everything is, and also to look at psychology program because that's what I'm trying to major in.
Spring Trojan Day can give students the resources to start painting their own canvas as a Troy Trojan.
Essentially, we like to say we're giving you the canvas when you're accepted to Troy, and it's your job to paint it. And so getting involved, diving in, making those friend groups, and becoming a part of the Trojan family is up to you and how you do it.
Ava Jackson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, a piece of championship hardware belonging to the Atlanta Braves made a stop in Troy this week. More on why it was here coming up after this, so stay tuned.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
Mama. Mama.
Say mama. Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm almost 2 now and still not responding. That's one sign of a communication disorder, and delaying treatment can affect my development.
Many parents aren't aware of the early signs of speech, language, and hearing disorders, yet early detection and treatment can improve quality of life.
Say dada.
Ugh, here we go.
Identify the signs of communication disorders.
As Dean of Libraries, Dr. Chris Schaefer's main job is handing out books to the university libraries. However, on Tuesday night, Schaefer was handing out copies of a book he had written along with an autograph. Kaylee Wright has the details.
Many individuals remember the Cold War and the changes it brought. One man experienced the changes of a nation when it made the switch from communism to capitalism. Troy University's Dean of Libraries, Christopher Schaefer, wrote a memoir about his time in Slovakia titled Moon Over Sashava, where he told the stories of different individuals and their experiences during this significant time in history.
It's my experiences living in Banska Bystrica, Slovakia, and teaching for 6 months in 1993.
Schaefer also had the opportunity to visit many of the surrounding countries such as Poland, Austria, Hungary, and Germany.
So you get little minor adventure stories from all those places too.
Slovakia and Eastern Europe in general is vastly different from the U.S. Schaefer said that he did not experience culture shock.
To some extent, people are people, and everybody was very welcoming, and they gave me a great introduction to their country. Also, it helped that we were a novelty as Americans, because American culture had been forbidden under the Soviets. It's very easy to avoid culture shock if everybody is welcoming you in, say, come over, have dinner, let me buy you a drink. Just a positive experience.
The Slovakians welcomed Schaefer, and the other Americans would open arms into their country. When this happened, Schaefer quickly realized that the American media had altered the way he viewed Eastern Europeans.
As an 80s child, whenever we saw images of women in Eastern Europe and Russia, they always were these let's just say very stout, sturdy women. They were never attractive. You know, their legs looked like a relief map of the great waterways of Europe.
Schaefer discovered that the stereotypes were not true.
That was sort of part of the Cold War. You know, you didn't want an attractive, friendly face to be the face of the enemy.
Moon Over Sashava is available on Amazon, and you can also visit Schaefer in the library for a copy. Kaylee Wright, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Every week, Troy University students have the chance to learn about Chinese culture through interactive activities at the Chinese Tea Talks. This past week, students got to break out their crafting skills by making traditional Chinese bracelets. Kaylee Wright has the story.
Students learned to make Chinese bracelets at the Chinese Culture Club's weekly Tea Talk. Though it might be the start of spring, parents traditionally make these staircase bracelets for their children for good luck during the Mid-Autumn Festival.
So it's like people celebrate the half of the year, and they celebrate the rice, the food.
The bracelets are made by pulling one strand over the other and forming a D before pulling the strand through. Some of the attendees thought that making the bracelets was a relaxing activity.
So far I'm really enjoying it. I like that it's very chill and just kind of calm and relaxing.
I really like it because it's not stressful, and I feel like I'm under a lot of stress all the time. And so I feel like this is definitely something to like decompress and just do. Like I could probably do this while I was studying.
It's pretty simple, so I'm enjoying the simplicity of not really having to think about it and just kind of letting my hands work.
Attendees were able to express themselves by using beads and picking out different colors they wanted to use.
It like reminds me of a sunset, and I really like the sunset. Obviously I have a tattoo that's kind of like that, and so that's why I chose them.
FNU Delina, the Tea Talks host and exchange student from China, says that sharing Chinese culture with domestic students is important.
Because it's like a Chinese traditional way, and I want the students can know more Chinese culture because we are the Chinese Culture Club. It's a global culture, and you can open your views and you can know different cultures. Because you know, in Troy University there has a lot of international students, and you can know their language and you can know their culture.
Kaylee Wright, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Trojan Arena has its fair share of trophies on display for a variety of Trojan teams. However, Wednesday night, Trojan Arena was home to a trophy belonging to the current World Series champions, the Atlanta Braves. Simon Schuessler shows us why it was there.
Wednesday afternoon, citizens from Troy and the surrounding areas were treated to a unique opportunity to be in the presence of a historical piece of hardware. That piece of hardware was the long-awaited return of the World Series trophy to the South, more specifically, Braves country.
I think so many members of Trojan Nation, they're part of Braves country as well too. You know, I grew up a Braves fan. I know so many of our fans are as well too. We have that strong connection, whether it's with Dansby Swanson's mom actually being at the Troy University Hall of Fame, being a Troy graduate here, but also just having this opportunity to bring people to campus that maybe haven't had a chance to come to Troy University before. You got folks that have come down from Montgomery, Dothan, all throughout the Wiregrass, getting a chance to come to our campus, be a part of this exciting moment here.
Now, being able to claim your team as the best in the world is a generational experience for Braves fans across the South. This is the first World Series title since 1995 for Atlanta, a team that has only won 4 titles since the start of the organization's existence in 1871. So, for parents, it was a great opportunity to share this unique moment with their little ones.
I mean, the entire South is Braves country, and I've been watching baseball since I was, his age, and it's just really cool to get to share this experience with him now. Growing up, I was a Troy baseball fan, and I was Braves baseball all the time, and it's just really cool to have both of them in the same place at once.
With Atlanta making key offseason moves that will change the lookup of this year's roster, only time will tell if fans will be in for similar success. Simon Schuessler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The Pike Regional Child Advocacy Center is ramping up fundraising efforts in April with a number of activities. We'll learn more about their efforts in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Kaylee Green. She is the Executive Director of the Pike Regional Child Advocacy Center here in Troy. Kaylee, thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And we're talking about the Pike Regional Child Advocacy Center, and you have a month of fundraising activities. April is usually your big month for raising money for the Child Advocacy Center and bringing awareness to the Child Advocacy Center. We're going to get into some of those fundraising activities. Some of them sound pretty fun and good opportunities to get out and break a sweat. But before we do that, let's let folks know what it is they're going to be helping out, because the Child Advocacy Center is an important resource in this area, not just, even though it's located in Troy, it's not just for Troy, but talk a little bit about what the CAC does and why it's necessary for it to have here in the community.
Sure, thank you. So the Child Advocacy Center, we are mainly located here in Troy, but we do service 4 counties: Barber, Bullock, Coffee, and Pike. And the main goal of the Child Advocacy Center is to service children in a child-friendly environment while they are dealing with a crisis situation. So we service victims of child abuse, sexual, physical, and severely neglected children. And all of our services are free. We have 2 satellite locations as well. We have one location in Eufaula that's located in a church, and then we have a location in Enterprise as well that's in a partnership with the Enterprise Police Department. So like I said, all of our services are free, so any fundraising efforts that we have now throughout the month of April and throughout the year, all of those efforts go towards ensuring that the services to our children and families continue to be free. We also work off of grants, so those grants aren't always guaranteed throughout each and every year. So fundraising is extremely important for us.
And a lot of people may not even be aware that the center exists because they've never had to make use of it. But one of the things about it is that this is a facility that is there for children at a time when they need it the most. And you talk about it being child friendly, but you're looking, when y'all bring a child in, they usually are in a situation, probably one of the worst moments of their life. So that's important for this facility to be there, right?
Oh, definitely, of course. Abuse in any form is very unfortunate for any family to have to deal with. And abuse knows no race, gender, or color. And like I said, families are in crisis situations when they're having to come to us, and we have a multidisciplinary team that we work with, law enforcement, the Department of Human Resources, the district attorney's offices, our medical team, and we work with each of those entities in all 4 counties that we serve. So it's not just us at the Child Advocacy Center that are helping these families and children out. It's a whole team of people working together to ensure that these families and children are getting what they need in a time of crisis. So a lot of people don't know that we do exist until they need us. And so that's why, April, and it's so important because we take this time to raise awareness in the community for people who may not know who we are. And not only that are we we sometimes get dubbed the child abuse people, and when people see us out and about, they avoid our table because, it's just a little, I guess, a little off-putting that, you don't want to go over there and talk to those ladies. But, it's not just about that. It's about helping these families and children that come to us and receive these services. But also, there are ways to help maybe people in your family and your community that may not have spoken up yet, or maybe going through something like bullying, or dealing with whatever the case may be at home. And we provide those resources in a number of ways, not just our crisis counseling or forensic interviewing. We also have our SCAN program, which is Stop Child Abuse and Neglect. We provide those services in the schools, teaching kids how to speak up when they may not feel comfortable otherwise, and who these adults are in their lives they can talk to. So we have a lot of services that we provide that's not just in the crisis moment.
And of course, all of those with the help of the community to continue going on. Let's talk about fundraising efforts. And one of the first ones, and one of the ones that you see around town and you see on the display here behind us, the ribbons and the pinwheels. Talk about the significance of the ribbons and the pinwheels there.
So the blue ribbon there, I believe it was in the 80s. Don't quote me on that. It could be a little wrong. But there was a grandmother that lost her child to child abuse. Her grandmother. A grandmother lost her grandchild to child abuse, and so to raise awareness, she just started wearing a little blue ribbon on her shirt, and it developed into this big blue ribbon that you see now. And the story of how that came to be is on the blue ribbon, and we just sell them now to raise awareness around town. Just another way of, hey, it's Child Abuse Awareness Month. You support our center, and it starts a conversation, And
just like the pinwheels,
yeah,
yes.
Everyone loves the pinwheels because they're so fun to look out there and see them spinning in the wind. But they represent happy, healthy childhoods, and you put them in your yard or at your business, whatever the case may be, and they hold up pretty good against some pretty hefty winds.
And of course, another thing, this new thing, you've got a kickball tournament, an opportunity to break a sweat and have some fun and raise money. Talk about the kickball tournament.
We're so excited about this. This is our first year. We are hosting it with Troy Resilience Project. That's Dr. Dawson out at Charles Henderson Child Health Center, and we are having it at Troy Rec Center. They have allowed us to be at their soccer fields on April 9th. It's from 9 to 4. Kids and adults, please, everybody is welcome to join us. We're not, asking for just kids or just adults. Everybody can come out and play. And we're just trying to, raise funds, raise awareness for, us and the kids. It's $50 for a kids team, $150 for an adult team, 6 to 10 players. And we're just going to be out there having a good time.
Okay. Now, if anybody wants to take part, what can they do? How can they buy this stuff, sign up, all that kind of stuff? What can they do?
Of course, give us a call at the Advocacy Center. Our number is 334-670-0487. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. And we do have a website. It's pikeregionalcac.com. And also, there's a QR code on the flyer, if you see the flyer around town, or if you see it on social media. You can just scan the QR code, sign up on the Google form, and please
take part.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's hoping a lot of folks take part in the kickball, buy some ribbons, buy some pinwheels. Good luck with fundraising this month. Kaylee, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.
Thanks.
And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, you can tune into TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30, Monday through Friday. or you can visit us anytime on the Troy Trojan Vision news blog at today.troy.edu/TrojanVision to see online content from Troy Trojan Vision News anytime. And until next time, have a good week.